Lucy wasn't looking for trouble when she found out the ring. It was just lying there on the doorstep, a simple, unassuming band with intricate carvings. Intrigued, she picked it up, feeling its cold metal surface. There was nothing odd about it, but she brushed the feeling aside and slipped into her finger. At first, nothing happened. The ring fit perfectly, and Lucy admired it in the mirror. I just guess it's my lucky day, she mused, smiling. But as the days went on, strange things have begun to happen. It started with the whispers. Late at night, Lucy would wake up to the faint sounds of a woman's voice. Though she couldn't make quite out of it, the shadows seemed to shift in the corner of her vision. And every time she tried to remove the ring, her hand would freeze, unable to pull it off. One night, the voice became clearer, a whisper right beside her ear. You shouldn't have taken it. Lucy jolted awake, her heart pounding in her chest. She sat up in the bed, her eyes scanning the dark room. Who's there? She whispered, her voice shaking, but the room was empty, save for the feeling that someone or something was watching her. Over the next few days, Lucy's unease grew. She tried throwing the ring away, leaving it in the trash, or tossing it into the nearby river, but every time she did, it would reappear on her finger in the next morning, as if it never left. I'm not crazy, she muttered to herself. But the more she tried to get rid of it, the more persistent the voice became. One night, she couldn't take it anymore. She reached out to the local historian, Mr. Green, who specialized in strange artifacts and folklore. Desperate for answers, she brought the ring to him. As soon as Mr. Green laid eyes on the ring, his face paled. Where did you get this? He asked, his voice. Mr. Green's face was pale as he examined the ring closely, his eyes wide with concern. He set it down on his desk as if it burned his hand. Looking up at Lucy, you don't understand, he said, his voice grave. This ring, it's cursed. Lucy felt a chill run down her spine. Cursed? What are you talking about? Mr. Green rubbed his forehead, sighing heavily. This ring belonged to Mary Ann, a woman from 1800s. She was betrayed and killed by someone close to her. Some say her lover, but before she died, she cursed this very ring, vowing that anyone who wore it would suffer the same fate she did. Lucy's breath caught in her throat. That's just a legend, right? This can't be real. Mr. Green's eyes met hers, serious and unblinking. It's very real. Everyone who's worn their ring since then either gone missing or worse. Lucy's heart pounded in her chest and her hand instinctively moved to the ring. But I can't take it off. I tried and every time it just reappears. Mr. Green noted grimly. That's part of the curse. Once it's on, it won't come off until Mary Ann gets what she wants. Lucy stared at him, panic rising. What does she want? To make you suffer, Mr. Green said quietly, just like she did. Lucy felt her stomach twist. There must be something I can do, right? I just can't sit here and wait for her to come for me. Mr. Green sighed again, standing up and walking to the dusty old bookcase. There may be a way, but it's dangerous, you'll find. You'll have to find out where Marianne is buried and return the ring to her grave. It's the only way you can break the curse. Lucy swallowed hard, her throat dry, and if I don't, Mr. Bean looked at her with pity. Then you meet the same fate as others. Lucy clenched her fist, feeling the cool metal of the ring against her skin. She wasn't ready to die, and she was about to let some ghost seal her fate. I'll do it, she said firmly. I'll return the ring. Determined to end the curse, Lucy spent the next days researching Marianne. After days of searching through his old records and local archives, she finally discovered the location of Marianne's grave, an old, forgotten cemetery on the outskirts of town. That night, armed with a flashlight and a cursed ring, Lucy made her way to the cemetery. The air was heavy with fog, and every step seemed to echo through the stillness. Her flashlight beam cut through the darkness as she navigated the overgrown path. Okay, Lucy, you can do this, she whispered to herself, trying to ignore the eerie feeling settling over her. Just get to the grave and return the ring, and everything will be alright. As she approached the graveyard, the shadows seemed to move, twisting unnaturally in the dim light. Lucy's heart raced with every step. She finally reached the weathered tombstone marked with Marianne's name. It was barely legible, worn down by time. Here it is, Lucy murmured, kneeling beside the grave. She could barely see the inscription, but knew it was the right place. The fog thickened and the temperature dropped. Lucy shivered as the cold breeze swept through the cemetery. Suddenly, a chilling voice cut through the silence. So you have come to return what's mine. Lucy's blood ran cold. She turned to see a ghostly figure emerging from the shadows. Marianne stood before her, her face twisted in anger and sorrow. Marianne, Lucy said, her voice trembling. I'm here to end this curse. I've brought the ring. Marianne's ghostly form glided closer, her eyes glowing with an eerie light. Do you think you can simply return it and walk away? Lucy's hands shook as she held down the ring. Please, Marianne, I don't want to be part of this. I just want to live my life. Marianne's expression hardened. You have worn the ring. You have already part of my story. You can't escape your fate. Lucy's heart pounded. There must be a way to make things right, right? Tell me now. Marian's gaze was unyielding. You must confront me. Face your fears and prove that you deserve to break the curse. Until then, you are mine. Lucy's fear turned to determination. I'll do whatever it takes. Marian's laughter echoed through the cemetery, sending chills down Lucy's spine. Then prepare yourself. The final test is coming. As Marian's figure faded into the mist, Lucy knew that her journey was far from over. She had to face whatever was coming next, knowing that her life and her soul were at stake. Lucy stood frozen as Marian's ghostly figure emerged from the shadows at the foot of her bed. The air grew cold and her body felt paralyzed by fear. Marian's voice echoed in the dark room, a chilling whisper. I told you, Lucy, the ghost said, stepping closer, her face twisted in a haunting smile. I'm coming for you. Lucy struggled to speak, her voice trembling. Oh, what do you want from me? Why are you doing this? Marianne's eyes darkened. You took what was mine. She hissed. Now I'll take what's yours. Lucy's heart raced, but I didn't mean to. I didn't want it. I swear. The room grew colder as Marianne's figure moved even closer. It's too late. You wear the ring and you belong to me. Desperation filled Lucy's chest. No, no, this isn't happening. I'll find a way to stop you. Marianne's laughter echoed, cold and sharp. Stop me. You can't stop what's already begun. Lucy's thoughts raced. Her mind clung to Mr. Green's word. Everyone who wears the ring dies. But there had to be a way out. There had to be. Please, please let me go, Lucy begged, tears streaming down her face. Marian's smile faded. Her voice dropped to a low, menacing whisper. You can't escape me, Lucy. You're mine. Suddenly, the figure lunged forward and Lucy gasped, waking up drenched in sweat. She was still in her bed, heart pounding, her body trembling from the encounter. But as she looked down, her breath caught in her throat. The ring was still there, glistening on her finger. Determined, Lucy made up her mind. She couldn't live like this. She would find a way to break the curse. With no other options, she returned to Mr. Green's office the next morning, banging on the door frantically. Mr. Green opened the door, startled by her urgency. Lucy, what's going on? She stepped inside, pacing, her voice frantic. She came to me last night. Marianne's. She's getting closer. I need to know how to stop her. Mr. Green hesitated, then spoke slowly. There is one way, but it's dangerous. Lucy stared at him wide-eyed. I'll do anything. Just tell me what it is. Mr. Green's face turned grave. The only way to break the curse is to face Marianne where she died. To return the ring to her grave. Lucy felt a flicker of hope, but it quickly vanished as she realized the risk. And if I don't make it, Mr. Green's voice was solemn, then she'll take you, just like she's taken everyone else before. Lucy's hand shook as she clutched the ring. She had no other choice now. It was her only chance to free herself from the curse. Night was eerily quiet as Lucy stood at the entrance of the cold, overgrown cemetery, the ring feeling like a heavy weight on her finger. Mr. Green had given her the location of Marian's grave, but now, standing before it, fear gripped her. Lucy took a deep breath, clutching a flashlight in one hand and the cursed ring in the other. The wind howled through the trees, sending chills down her spine. She knew this was her only chance to break the curse, but doubt gnawed at her. What if it didn't work? What if Marianne took her anyway? This is the only way, Lucy, she whispered to herself, trying to steady her trembling hands. As she moved deeper into the cemetery, shadows danced around her. Every step felt heavier, as if the ground itself was trying to pull her under. She reached the old tombstone, Marian's name etched into the weathered stone. It was barely legible, but Lucy knew she had found the right place. Suddenly, the temperature dropped and the air became thick with an oppressive presence. The flashlight flickered and died, plunging her into the darkness. Lucy's breath hitched and she fumbled for the ring, holding it out in front of her. You think you can break the curse? Marianne's voice echoed through the night, cold and mocking. You think returning the ring will save you? Lucy spun around, but Marianne was nowhere to be seen. Yet her voice surrounded her, growing louder. You belong to me now, Lucy. No, Lucy cried out, gripping the ring tighter. I'm not yours. I didn't ask for this. From the shadows, Marian's ghostly figure appeared, her eyes burning with fury. You wear the ring, and that's enough. Lucy took a step back, her heart racing. You were betrayed, Marian, but I'm not the one who wronged you. This curse, it needs to end. Marianne's figure loomed closer, her face twisted anger. It doesn't end. Not for you. Lucy's voice trembled as she raised the ring. I'm returning it. Take it and leave me alone. Shaking hands, she dropped the ring in onto the grave, praying that it would be enough. The earth trembled beneath her feet, and deafening silence followed. For a moment, nothing happened. Lucy held her breath, waiting. Suddenly, the ground erupted, shadows swirling around the grave, and Marian's voice filled the air. You think you can escape me? She hissed. You're mine forever. Lucy screamed as Marianne's hand reached out from the darkness, grabbing her wrist, pulling her towards the grave. Desperate Lucy fought back, her body trembling with fear. She kicked and struggled, but Marianne's grip tightened. No, I won't let you take me, Lucy cried, tears streaming down her face. As Marianne's icy grip began to drag her into the earth, a brilliant flash of light burst from the ring. The shadows recoiled, and Marianne's hold weakened. Lucy gasped, pulling herself free as the ghost's anguished scream echoed through the cemetery. Lucy collapsed on the ground, her body shaking with relief. She looked up and shadows dissipating into the night. The ring was gone, but the haunting silence that followed made her wonder, had she truly broken the curse? Or was Marian's voice just waiting to return?